idea, and actually to give you an understanding that this is not just we came up like 1 week ago. This all phenomena was actually like a long time there, and a lot of practitioners actually using this approach. And in science world, it was strongly coming about 30 years ago. And now I'll share my screen, show you a couple of slides. Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Super. Yeah, so like our team, we recognize this person, it's Jacques Benveniste, as the person who actually brought lots of scientific light on all this phenomena. That's water, maybe has memory, how they call it. It's like kind of memory, or water can remain this specific state. So you can change the state of water, and that water can have specific biological effects on living organism, just pure water. He was like a real true legend and made a lot of things in this area. Initially, he was immunologist, really strong. Some people were even predicting that if he would continue his work in immunology, he would get a Nobel Prize on his work. But like one day, some of his friends proposed him, why would not you try to study small doses of substances? So he would be studying regular concentration of substance in his system, in his laboratory. And one day, one person proposed him, okay, try small doses, just reduce concentration. And he was like first really skeptical, because in chemistry, the lower dose you have, the lower effect you will get. If there is no substance, there is no effect. So he decided to try. He was diluting his substance into the water, and he saw that, yeah, sometimes it remains the effect. And then he tried to dilute it so much, so theoretically there is no molecule present in the solution, no active substance present in the solution. And he was surprised with all of that, because like, what's explanation? How can it work? There is no substance, just water, it works. So he was thinking of some electromagnetic nature of the water, of interaction with the substance, and that water can change its state somehow. He called it like memory of water, and that caused a lot of trouble for him to say that water have memory. But anyways, somehow he needed to talk about this, so he used this term memory of water. So he was kind of saying that water can remember the substance that was present in the water, and then you can use that water to affect biological systems. Just a couple of pictures from his lab. He had like a lot of funding initially before he was involved in all the story, and after his publication in such a top journals like Nature and different like story, different like things happened to him. He was like removed from his lab, and he had to do all the experiments on just his own small laboratory. But he was doing all this research until like then he created different patents, a lot of research, a lot of people did replications of this phenomena. And this is a principal scheme of how he would record the signal from substance and transfer it to the water. So he used the electromagnetic coil. Electromagnetic coil, it's just like lots of wires. And if you kind of put electromagnetic field around the coil, that field creates current into the wire. Then you can run this like little current through the amplifier and then apply it to another coil. So if you run current through the coil, it will emit kind of back. It will emit the electromagnetic field. And if you put just water inside of this coil, the signal from this solution of biological active substance will be transferred to their water and affect the water. And there is no even contact. You know, there is no dilution, how they do in homeopathy. This water, for example, on the right side never was in contact physically with the substance. It was only influenced by electromagnetic field. And this water acquires some biological active properties, which are similar to properties of this initial substance. In his research, I mean, he did lots of publications, just small screenshot from one of his publications, and it shows that he repeats, like for example, the experiment 10 times, and he has significant effect. We have on the infopyc.com lots of different publications, like summaries of them. You can also visit it, and maybe one day we can do some like long presentation for like an hour or something to talk more about this. And one of the things he also did, he used internet. It was like 90s the time, just internet was coming. So he would digitize the signal, make it some like a format, and then send it file just another country from France to USA. And they would play back the signal back to water and examine the water, what kind of biological effect it comes. And they found that it has also effect. So you can just transfer the signal recorded from substance to just another place, play back to the water, and use it instead of the substance. So that's also a dude. We use a coil, put substance, like usually how we do it. We put substance in water, we dilute it, we amplify it, the signal, and we capture the signal. Then we have this whole database, and when people use those signals transfer to their water, some other signals we have, they can also transfer directly to the body. And in today's experiment, so the scheme is following. Aliki already told, just a little bit to repeat. Usually we concentrate on the sample, which is located in Germany. And in this electron impedance spectrometer, we record the signal, whether we had effect. In today's experiment, we'll have like two images merged with each other. One image would be, we still will be like measuring effect with this device. Another water sample is located here. And after session is done, we will go and put that water into the electromagnetic coil, record signal from this like another water, where we affected it with our intention. So because with our intention, like as we saw with this first device, we can change like something in water, it changes. So we want to try to record those signals from the water, digitize them, store them, and then we'll put them on InfoPython under the research. It will be only visible for like our this group, water ambassadors. You'll be able to go there and transfer, like use it, transfer it to the water bank, and then after fill the questionnaire, so we can see whether we were able to get the same effect that you get during the meditation. Yeah, this is for now everything I wanted to say, and I think Jeremy can add more information about this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anton. Yeah, we can hear more from Jeremy if you want to stop sharing, so we can see first. Jeremy has a lot of experience about signals and how water actually behaves, so we'd love to hear some more from you, Jeremy.
Okay, one moment. Let me see if I can do a screen share. There we go. Okay, and you can see my browser.
Yes, we only hear you a little bit very far.
Okay. Is that better? Check
Yes.
1, 2.
Yes.
Microphone check. You can hear me? Okay, cool. I think my headphones are a little bit shoddy. Okay, so I just kind of pulled together some links to support some of what Anton put together. Anton and I met at the water conference on the physics, chemistry, and biology of water, which is chaired by Gerald H. Pollack, attended by Luc Montagnier and other Nobel Prize laureates who have been working in the informational side of water and in the anomalistic properties of water. And so about 10 years ago, we kind of came together with the idea of maybe, creating some kind of platform where we could explore informational copies of water. And so 10 years ago, birthed under this heritage of Luc Montagnier's experiments and Jacques Benveniste, this platform has kind of been building, and it's been supported ever since by the Conference on the Physics, Chemistry, and Biology of Water. And last year, actually, every year at the conference, there's a Gilbert Ling Award given out to the greatest poster from the whole session, from the whole conference. And that was won by Anton in 2019 for the project, for the informational project. You could see Gerald H. Pollack here on the left-hand side, and there's Anton queuing up to give his presentation. And that was a really proud moment because, you know, it's been a lot of years of presenting this data, and Anton finally got a chance to get up there and present his work. So that was a really cool moment. And if you go to the infopathy.com page, there's a publications link. And on the publications link, you can find all kinds of articles, mostly scientifically based. So you can kind of come up with your own research pathway to explore digital imprinting phenomena, infoceutical phenomena, all the way from the late 1800s up until now, including information on Jacques Ben Veniste. And also there's Gerald H. Pollack's work. He's been exploring the fourth phase of water as a possible matrix in water that actually can hold information. So where are these digital signals stored, or perhaps on this matrix within the water? And let's see, we also have a really great link here. So I'm going to post all these links in the chat so you guys can click on them. But here's a very rare video by Jacques Ben Veniste at the Cavendish in 1999. And he talks about digital imprinting of water. And the whole introduction was introduced by Brian Josephson. And Brian Josephson is a Nobel Prize laureate. And so there was a lot of esteemed colleagues focused on Jacques Ben Veniste's work. And so this video really encapsulates his whole process for digital imprinting on water and the type of biological mechanisms that it was working with within the body and how it worked, the mode of action. So I'll post this there for you as well. And there's the aquaside.com. So we have our experiment that will be starting in about 8 minutes. So you can go there as well and sign up for the experiment, and you can join us. It's a monthly experiment. And there's one other link that I found here that I thought was really cool. And that was this article that came out in the Nature Journal on the acoustic enrichment of reefs in Australia, the Great Barrier Reefs. And so they were recording healthy signals from healthy reefs, and they were transducing them back onto reefs that were sick and not doing well. And they were able to regenerate the reefs utilizing these digital signals and these audio signals. So I thought that was a really cool tie-in and something similar to what we're doing here. And so I'll post those in the chat, and those hopefully fill in a few blanks for you so you can explore, and I'll hand it over to Aliki.
Thank you so much, and thank you for posting the links. And then the very last step, let's say, but very important, is connecting all the science with actually our human experience and understanding what we see in the charts that you're going to receive later on after the experiment. What do they actually mean in human experience? And Danny has been on this field and creating a dictionary that you will receive after, and we will complete it all together to kind of understand, yeah, okay, I see the water changing, but how did I felt about it? Was there any collective experience that we all share? Was there any specific feeling that came up to all of us? Or are there trends? Are they connected to the theme of the balance of the four elements of today? So I will hand it out to Danny to tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I was really looking forward to this second experiment together with you. And I feel that we are already forming a small micro community where we are raising each other's awareness of water. And yeah, I'm excited to see what will unravel during this session. And so same as last time, we are not only interested in creating an experience, but also in your feedback, and this personally, but also a bit more quantitatively, so we can really evaluate it. And therefore, we would like to ask you again in the end of the meditation to fill out the questionnaire. It will be the same as last time. And I will post a link right after the meditation in the chat. And your feelings and your connection shall help us to evaluate whether water can be used as a medium to strengthen connection between non-local communities and the global awareness. And then second, since we are adding the infoceutical, where we will record the collective signals obtained from this meditation and later feed them back to you, I think it's just simply a very crazy experiment. So we would also there be very interested to get your feedback on it, and here not so much quantitatively, but more qualitatively. And ask you, yeah, what you experienced actually, because this is like totally new to everybody of us. So as soon as the sequence will be ready for you to download, we will ask you for a second questionnaire to fill out, but this will be posted in the chat later. Yeah, now just enjoy the meditations, and the signals will all be recorded for you in the background, and the results will follow.
Thank you so much. That's a little bit about the story behind, and now we can all just get comfortable and have our water bottles in front of us, because we do know that the waters are connected. So we're focusing in the samples, but all waters around us and inside of us actually are getting arranged, rearranged. I don't want to put words there and affect the questionnaire after. So as soon as everybody's ready, I will hand it on to Jeremy. I will just stop the music from my side. And feel free, for this specific experiment, even though it's a meditation, feel free to keep your eyes open, because the screen is being representing the cymatics, so the water formations from the music that you're listening to. So practically it's a feedback loop that we are creating between the waters and ourselves. So it's much more powerful if you watch the cymatics instead of having your eyes closed for this specific meditation. It would be very interesting also to see how you feel about the cymatics in the image, because I was feeling a lot of influence even from the visuals. And so no further ado, I will just hand it over to Jeremy, who will share the recorded meditation. Enjoy and dive deep into yourselves, and we'll see you after, just right here.
Thank you, Aliki. And Anton, just give me a thumbs up if you see the video and hear the video, and then I know we're good, okay? So let me start a screen share.
Allow yourself to drift into a space of relaxation. Your body settles and your mind follows. You are exactly where you have to be. You are exactly who you are here to become. The whole universe is in absolute balance. Take a deep breath and allow your out-breath to expand around you, creating ripples of existence. Bring your awareness in equilibrium with the whole. Imagine as if the whole was an ocean, calmly waving into existence. The deep waters merging and expanding in you and around you. Wave after wave after wave, you are carried into your sacred space of inner vision. Drop after drop after drop, your full awareness is concentrated into the waters. The water that is in front of you, the water that is being studied, the water that is inside you. Merging the waters into the always emerging vibration of life. Life that is in constant change, yet eternal. Change that you are unconsciously creating with every action, every thought, every feeling. Feelings that create visions of new tomorrows. Visions that create worlds. Worlds we wish to experience. Look around you. What do you see? Which world are you creating for yourself and others to live in? How does it sound? How does it smell? How does it taste? How does it look? And above all, how does it feel? How does it feel? How does it You're here, now. Everything is here, now. All that you have ever wished to experience are around you, right now, right here. Allow your vision to become your inner world. Carry it with you, in your mind's eye, in your heart, in your body, in your soul. In this world you're creating, there is constant emergence. Every breath you take moves the streams of the air. Every touch you make changes the surface of the earth. Every word you pronounce creates ripples in the waters. Every action lights up the whole world around you. Look, and you may see through. Listen, and you may hear clearly. Stop, and you may move faster. Envision, and it may happen. In a world of emergence, there is nothing more important than presence. Sizzling the future like water on rock, creating beauty as it goes, allowing magic to flow through, and spirit to guide us to the vision of tomorrow that is already here, now. For the next couple of minutes, allow the new world you have just created to become your reality. All around, inside and out, as above, so below. expanding in all four directions. North for inspiration, south for grounding, east for new beginnings, and west for colorful completions. As far as your consciousness can travel, as high as your sight can see, as long as your mind can remember, as deep as your soul can reach, there is nothing else than this collective new vision of a world of absolute balance. Balance that extends to all times, all dimensions, all lives, all forms. Resolves all agreements of suffering, shakes all energetic blockages, washes away all struggle, and leaves behind perfect equilibrium, the core of the void. Stay in this void, knowing that is the safest place of all, where it all starts and where it all ends. That point, you're there. Enjoy. We will soon call you back when it's time. For now, comfort yourself in this space. There's no place like home. You're here. Now. Flowing backwards, come back into your body. Feel the magic that is to be human. Honor your shape, your physicality, your current form. How majestic. Honor life by being fully present, body, mind, and soul. Fill up your nose with air, your mouth with taste, your skin with sensations. And prepare your eyes for the new world. Prepare your body for the action. Prepare your soul for the joy and your mind for the fun, and yourself to be part of our global community of water in perfect balance with the universe. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome home.
Thank you so much. We'll give like a couple of seconds for everybody to slowly come back. And as you're slowly coming back, and when you feel ready, just feel into how the experience was. And we'll be very grateful if you can click on the link that Danny just posted in our chat. Just complete this small questionnaire of how was it this time? How did it felt? I'll just give a couple of minutes, just with a little bit of music in the background, and some silence from my side, just for you to have the time to complete the questionnaire from the link in the chat. And very, very soon we're back here to share more about our experience and how that felt. I'm so sorry, somebody got connected to my speaker. hope everybody had the time to complete the questionnaire, so we can slowly move on to sharing. How was it? Actually, Hope was saying, I was sharing something super interesting about the experience. Would you like to start?
Yeah.
Are you closer?
Yeah, I'm not really
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
So yeah, I was telling that the visual aspect was very intense. Like it was the voice plus the sound was a bit overwhelming me, but just looking the visual aspect was really a deep feeling inside me, and the shape, and it was really building something in my brain. So I think the visual aspect really bring me. This is the most biggest feeling in this meditation for sure. So,
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So everybody else, feel free as you feel to unmute your microphone and just share how it was this session for you. Pop-up style, whoever feels like sharing something.
I'll share something. I just wanted to say that it's really nice to be here to enjoy the meditation in the group setting here. So just thank you for that. And I posted in the chat our first call, which gives more context on the AquaSci platform and gives a little bit more information. If you're just coming in on this second experiment, you'll have more context if you go back and review that video. And then I also posted the meditation, the cymatics meditation from today. It's an unlisted video. So we'll go in there and probably make that public pretty soon. But for you guys, it's available now. And so those two links are there available for you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Well, I already last time wished it would have lasted for a little longer. It feels like super short because you kind of sink in and then you're already out again. But yes, I really like it.
Thank you so much, Carolyn.
I wanted to share my impression. I felt at some point I almost started wanting to cry. Like there's something in my heartstrings, like just I almost teared. I think it was on the 32nd minute. I don't know what it was you were saying, but something about it, I felt something strong. And then, so I kept on watching the colors and the meditation words and realized that this is the right group because I feel like water is something I've been drawn to. And I think it's a way to save the planet. And so the words in the meditation made me feel like you guys are on the same page with that. So that meant a lot to me. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Okay, and Anna will go next.
So I felt like in a more practical way, because the fact that I use contact lenses and my eyes were open for the meditation and for the images, I felt it could be hard. But I just surrendered to what was happening, and then very interesting things started to happen. There was a moment that I just felt all my body kind of being melted in the images, and it was a very good sensation. And I felt a kind of a flowy melting. And I guess it was created by the images that were being shown. So I got more hooked in a way to the images, and yeah, I guess also the fact that I use contact lenses, it kind of went
behind that. So was very interesting, this effect of the flowing and melting. And I must say that water is one of my more connective elements. So yeah, was really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Interesting feeling.
Hello. So maybe I can share something. Can you hear me? Yes, okay. Yes, so I have been spending the whole of today in silence because I do meditation. I've been doing meditation for close to 30 years. And so even during this meditation, I was more or less just connecting with the silence and then letting my energy, so my energy of meditation, which means you may call it love or connectedness or harmony and all of that. I was letting it flow, and I found the images, although the flow was quite intense, because usually in meditation I practice being silent and focusing on some source. So this was like the other way, but I enjoyed it all the same. And I don't know whether I was expecting that other small tube, or there's that, you know, the container of water that you usually see in aquases. I was expecting to see it, and I think I only saw it for 1 or 2 instances, somewhere in between. Everything else was happening. But I enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to see what, you know, what results you obtain out of this. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
I can share if it's okay. I found this experience very different from last. I think part of it, I really enjoyed that we first met here on Zoom, and it increased already this feeling of community. I think made it much stronger just because of that also. And then during the meditation, it was also different because last time I had my eyes closed, and I can agree with the people that spoke before me that it was very mesmerizing to actually take in those visuals, and I loved how they got, maybe it was just my perception, but I thought they got more and more complex, and I was completely hypnotized by it. And what you were saying, and this feeling of this global community that was induced already before, made me very hopeful. And I feel like really it just gives me inspiration of what could become from this, and makes me very optimistic about the future. So that was I felt very nice. Yeah.
Thank you, Fabian.
And yeah, for me it was like last time I was enjoying a lot the cymatics, the visuals, and I felt really, this time I felt more connected with all of us, with the community in general, because, well, maybe because we started to this call before and we were talking, and last time was a bit different, but yeah, I felt gratitude, I felt calm and really connected, and really believing that this water, this all water experience is really important, and it's gonna make a lot of changes in the future.
Thank you so much, Carlos.
Very touched, and I'm very happy that we all can do this experiment together.
Hi everyone again. As session finished on Aquasaya, I wanted to show you the graph, what we we have now. Yeah, so in this exact experiment, yeah, we showed only a little bit of their samples on the screen. Maybe next time we can try to keep it like longer. And for this experiment, it was like merged actually like 3 water samples, 2 water samples from their device in Germany, because we didn't know which one would be selected on the aquasite before the experiment started. So we put there 2 samples, first and second channel. So we saw that, and also a petri dish with water, which is located here. And later today we'll be recording the signal from there. So if you check on this graph, like the most stable device channel of this device was selected number 2, the black line. You can see it was like more stable in the previous 1.5 hours. And anyways, like, yeah, if you consider only that channel, channel 2, it wasn't like significant change during the session. But yeah, I found like a little bit interesting to see another channel, which was even more, a little bit more unstable than second channel. The first channel was more unstable, and maybe that's instability helps to even push it further from instability. When you have unstable channel, then with slight effect, it's going even further. Yeah, so this was first channel, and also, yeah, actually, what I just noticed, impedance, you can see the red line is impedance, black line is impedance of a different channel, blue line is the temperature of the second channel, and the green is the temperature of the first channel. So actually, Jeremy, it's like interesting thing here. The impedance of one channel changed and temperature of another channel changed.
Yeah.
If you see the numbers, the temperature of their our like one target channel changed significantly. It's 98% of the change.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
so it's a really big. Yeah, I just now noticed this new line, and also like that's interesting to see here. Our meditation was like I think about 15 minutes or so only. So it started at this device local time zone at 9:30, or I think it's Europe time 7:30. Sorry, and it was 15 minutes. And after we finished the sessions, went to answer the survey. Changes of impedance of this channel kind of like didn't go further, which is like also interesting. Yeah, but here I see the most the biggest change was with this temperature. That's interesting.
Yeah, I find that interesting, Anton, that we're making a change electrochemically on the channel 1, but it's the opposite channel in the temperature reading that also kind of tracked along with that. And so that's kind of one of those, there's like these phantom effects that are happening on a quantum level with the experimental setup where it's polarizing. So like if we make an effect on the spectrometer, it seems to kind of like polarize the electrical circuit and the electrochemical response in terms of the offsetting the temperature as well. So it's really interesting how that is occurring within the experiment.
Anton, which channel, like the 2 channels are the one from Germany, the other from Canada, right?
No. So 2 channels, both of them in this aquasite we recorded signal only in Germany. So both of them in Germany, first and second. And usually on the aquasite, if you go and book the session, you see image only on one of the channels, the more stable, then you try to influence it. Yeah, but even like try to like understand what is the control in this experiment. Even if you influence one channel, you cannot say, this was my influence, this was my control, or like opposite, this was the influence, this was the control, and it worked or doesn't work. So for now we see that devices are all like, or channels, because they stay about 10 centimeters from each other, we probably influence in one channel, influence another. So we kind of like analyze both channels, and as a control we look on their previous recording, what was happening like before that, before their like our impact started. yes, and when we calculate the pro value of each of this data from each sensor, from impedance sensor, from their temperature sensor, we analyze the previous, like usually 48 passive sessions when nobody was influencing. So we see what kind of changes were in those previous sessions. Then we compare them to change in our session, and we see what is the probability that this achieved value was actually random. So for this temperature, for example, this value is top 98%. So if you collect all 48 measurements from passive sessions, 47 from passive sessions, and 1 from this active session, and arrange them from lowest to highest, so this would be technically number 1, the highest temperature change in previous, or like number 1 or number 2 maybe, yeah, because 98%. You know, like when you go do your exam and you're like 98 top 98 student, so this means that if you have 100 people in your class, it means you're better than 98% in your class. So this value we achieved is better than all 47 previous values that we measured in previous 47 passive sessions. Yeah, so this was like really significant from the temperature.
It kind of feels that it has a tendency that the temperature will remain rising after our session. It would be interesting to see the after session also, because it
yeah, we'll have that as well. So if I just reload it.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah. If I reload, scroll here in results. This is actually a result from previous session we did 1 month ago. And this is result for today's this session. But again, for the specific experiment setting, what we're doing now, we're not influencing channel 2, we're actually influencing both channels, because we embedded in that video with cymatics both pictures of both channels plus picture of the sample in Canada. So this is what I showed. And then if you see what happened next, I mean, we need to come back and see a little bit later. For now, it's not much data for this one. But yeah, sometimes it's, recently we had experiment like yesterday as another group. It was like really strong influence on the post session. Sometimes water reacts in the post session.
Thank you for that. I just want to make sure that maybe somebody else would like to share the experience. I didn't hear Jan and hear Clara. I just want to make sure that I had shared if they want to first. Would you like to? Let's hear some more. And then we'll see what else comes as a question.
So for me, I usually meditate with my eyes closed. So that was the first thing I became aware of, was the imagery, and I found it a little bit difficult to, because my body wanted to close, and I knew I was meant to look. So, but another thing for me as well is music with the voice and the visual. It felt a little bit too much stimulation for me. But I did get lost in the imagery, but then I had to also honor me and close my eyes at times. But however, it felt very unusual sensations in my brain. I felt something on both sides of the cortex, but then within my body, and I just certainly feel more connected within my body. But also I'm just noticing, like, as even after and listening to all the feedback, like it's like as if I'm on a boat and I'm moving, but I'm not moving. But inside I'm moving. So yeah, I found it very relaxing, which is, I think, was the first line of the meditation, was to relax. And I feel really relaxed right now as well. So yeah, that's all the feedback from me. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Jan, the lecturing.
Sure, I was just going to write. Oh yeah, thank you for this beautiful experience. And I felt expansion, I felt deep rootedness, connection, really expansion in the front of my body. And what was a bit distracting was also the music today, because it was a bit, it was beautiful, but a bit cut off. So that would be good for the next session to improve the stream. Yeah, but overall, just I would say I would sum it up in the strongest feeling was really balance and harmony. So I thank you, and I also have to go. So thank you for organizing the session, and looking forward to see you the next time.
Thank you so much. Feel free to disconnect. Just realization came, not realization, some question that rise up before my mind, and I feel that is interesting to be answered, and that's about the samples. So the samples are not very obviously present in the video, John, but they are there. So your mind does understand they're still present, even if they're not very strong in the image, because we would like everybody to be able to disconnect from the rational and merge into the experience. So that while your consciousness still knows that we are doing this experiment for these two water samples, and that's the magic, that we don't necessarily need to have a very strong visual. The energetic connection is still there. We're still able to create the changes as soon as we have created an energetic connection with the samples. I just wanted to answer that. We do have a little bit more, a few more minutes. If there are questions, can be answered. If you have any doubts or anything that comes up about the next steps and the signals and how would all that work, they're also very welcome to be answered. If there's any feedback of how to make the session better, it's more than welcome. Or anything else that needs to be expressed. Please, Malena, go on.
Okay, hi everyone. So I've been on this platform for a while, doing trainings on my own since April. And so I've tried different ways to connect with the water, and I found like certain types of music would give me a higher score. Some of my highest scores were when I would look at the water sample and say to myself, I'm connected with 347-111, and then just kind of like connect with that. And then I would do something like I would try to meditate, clear my mind. And then if an idea came into my mind, I felt like it was reflected in the score. So in some ways I felt like it was measuring my state of flow. So I'm wondering if like the next one where you can see the sample and we make a conscious acknowledgement of the sample number, and then so I think that it would target it in some ways.
Thank you for this recommendation. We can totally think about it for the next one. By the way, now we're talking about the next one. The next one, I feel that as it's vacation time and we're gonna be in a very good year in the next month, and many things will happen until then. I feel that the next one would be a good day to do it on the 21st of January. So from the next year, we're gonna start tapping into the 21sts. So 21st of January, 21st of February, 21st of March, and as we go on, just for you to have an idea about that. Setting, I think, will remain the same. We said at least for the first 3 sessions, so we can have a comparison between the results to be able, because we're documenting that as a scientific experiment, as you know, so it does have to go with the repetitions that will allow it to be considered from the scientific world as an experiment. And after the first 3 sessions, so after January session, we will be able to see if we open it up to more participants, or if we want to change somehow the format. I feel that one feedback that keeps coming back is that it's a little bit short, so we might want to make it a little bit longer. I think everybody would be happy about that, so we will see if it's going to become longer. And also have a period of time in between that you can close your eyes so you can really dive deeper into yourself. So you have the cymatics and the diving in. Until then, so until January, all the ones that want, some of you have already ordered, some of you don't. You can order your device from Infopathy. Anton and their company were extremely kind to actually offer one of the devices completely for free, and the other one 50%, so the other 50% goes to this project. So it's practically the way for that to start becoming start supporting itself in a way, so we don't have to depend on funding. It just start existing on its own way, breaking out of the big corporations. And so what would practically happen? Yeah, exactly. What would practically happen? Well, all the ones who do want to be part of that, you don't need to, just I'm making that clear. It's just if whoever feels like doing it, like tapping into the vibration in the next days. So the ones who do want to do that, I will give you the link in the next days in our WhatsApp group of how to download the signal we are creating today. So you download the signal goes directly into your pad. And from this one, you just put your water in it. You leave it there for the time that it needs to be charged. I think it's 2 minutes, Anton, if I'm not wrong, for this one. So it's for 2 minutes, you can do it in the morning. And then at some point, maybe once a week for the ones who chose to do it, we will ask you for the same questionnaire. We will just post you in the chat. Guys, if you want, just remember to do that once again to see if what we think will happen is really happening. So like, this is the part of the experiment of, do we really tap into the same feeling or not by using electronic signals, and how much is the difference if it's there? And is there anything new coming up? Because there might be even new things, new feelings coming up, or new connections. So who knows, right? That's the fun part of it. So right now, I think I'm gonna stop talking and I will see if there's anything.
Can I ask something?
Please do.
In your questionnaire, I mean, it's every time the same, I think, but it would also be wonderful to have like a note thing underneath. So we share it now with you by camera, but it will probably be also interesting to kind of know for you later what kind of experiences the people had.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can, I think we can add that. So then every time you do the questionnaire alone, you're able to comment if there's something more there. Thank you for that. I'll put it down.
I have one suggestion too. I just thought about it because through the meditation, I started trying to remember. So it goes so fast, but at the same time, it goes really slow. And there's a lot of different emotions I feel, and I don't remember them afterwards. So if you ask me, even if you ask me right away, like I will only remember like the one, one's real salient one. But I was thinking that if I could record like while the meditation is going on and speak out loud my emotions, because since you guys can't hear it, but we're recording, and then so we'd also have like a timestamp of when those emotions like happened, then we can like have like a better way of tracking like what we're thinking and at what time, or if something like these that happening.
Interesting idea.
It can be very interesting. We can see how this can happen technically, but it could be interesting to see the different feelings. Because I do share that what you said, Malena. Just in the end, I was just left with the feeling of peace, but I don't remember the feelings that came throughout the session somehow. Might be interesting to make a timestamp of feelings. That's an awesome idea. And see also in the waters how does this reflect somehow. For me, for some reason, this meditation became very kind of psychedelic, because I was really looking at the cymatics, and I was able to see all the small lines like in the water instead of just the overall picture, and really see all the transitions. And funnily enough, I was very concentrated in the center, so like there almost seems like a black dot in the center that keeps remaining there. So my attention was very focused there, and then all the rest was kind of moving around. It was definitely more connecting than the previous one. I wonder if this is because we kind of start knowing more each other, or because the setting was different, or both, or because the place feels more comfortable than previous time. I have distractions, so I don't really know what's made it feel more connected. It's completely a lot more connecting than the previous one.
You know, something to also consider that we could maybe add into our awareness of the experiment. So the electrochemical process is subject to lunar cycles and periods. So depending on what's going on a cosmological scale, we'll actually see that effect happening electrochemically within the reaction of the experiment. So, you know, we could maybe leverage that, or at least track it and be aware of it in our experiments. I know we've done that in the past for control purposes. But at the same time, it can be used as kind of a slingshot as well. So we can amplify our effect depending on what type of cycles we're working with. Something interesting to think about.
Thank you for bringing that back. I had those kind of like put aside in my awareness, but it would be beautiful to see the more global reasons of different feelings, even, or connections, or levels of connecting with the waters. Yeah. I can put this as a track. Let's see how does that sound. And I will just invite if anything else needs to be expressed. Otherwise, we can call it a night or day, depending on where you are. And we're gonna see you very soon in January after the big transitions.
We finished.
I think we are complete.
Yeah. All right. Super.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Looking forward to the next one. Enjoy your day and nights.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you very much.
To have you around.
Ciao.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Allow yourself to drift into a space of relaxation. Your body settles and your mind follows. You are exactly where you have to be. You are exactly who you are here to become. The whole universe is in absolute balance. Take a deep breath and allow your out breath to expand around you, creating ripples of existence. Bring your awareness in equilibrium with the whole. Imagine as if the whole was an ocean, calmly waving into existence. The deep waters merging and expanding in you and around you. Wave after wave after wave, you are carried into your sacred space of inner vision. Drop after drop after drop, your full awareness is concentrated into the waters. The water that is in front of you, the water that is being studied, the water that is inside you. Merging the waters into the always emerging vibration of life. A life that is in constant change, yet eternal. Change that you are unconsciously creating with every action, every thought, every feeling. Feelings that create visions of new tomorrows. Visions that create worlds. Worlds we wish to experience. Look around you. What do you see? Which world are you creating for yourself and others to live in? How does it sound? How does it smell? How does it taste? How does it look? And above all, how does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? You're here, now. Everything is here, now. All that you have ever wished to experience are around you, right now, right here. Allow your vision to become your inner world. Carry it with you. In your mind's eye, in your heart, in your body, in your soul. In this world you are creating, there is constant emergence. Every breath you take moves the strings of the air. Every touch you make changes the surface of the earth. Every word you pronounce creates ripples on the waters. Every action lights up the whole world around you. Look, and you may see through. Listen, and you may hear clearly. Stop, and you may move faster. Envision, and it may happen. In a world of emergence, there is nothing more important than presence. Sizzling the future like water on a rock, creating beauty as it goes, allowing magic to flow through, and spirit to guide us to the vision of tomorrow that is already here, now. For the next couple of minutes, allow the new world you have just created to become your reality. All around, inside and out, as above, so below. Expanding in all four directions. North for inspiration. South for grounding. East for new beginnings, and west for colorful completions. As far as your consciousness can travel, as high as your sight can see, as long as your mind can remember, as deep as your soul can reach. There is nothing else than this collective new vision of a world of absolute balance. Balance that extends to all times, all dimensions, all lives, all forms. Resolves all agreements of suffering, shakes all energetic blockages, washes away all struggle and leaves behind perfect equilibrium, the core of the void. Stay in this void, knowing that is the safest place of all, where it all starts and where it all ends. That point, you are there. Enjoy. We will soon call you back when it's time. For now, comfort yourself in this space. There is no place like home. You're here, now. flowing backwards, come back into your body. Feel the magic that is to be human. Honor your shape, your physicality, your current form. How majestic. Honor life by being fully present, body, mind, and soul. Fill up your nose with air, your mouth with taste, your skin with sensations, and prepare your eyes for the new world. Prepare your body for the action. Prepare your soul for the joy and your mind for the fun, and yourself to be part of our global community of water in perfect balance with the universe. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome home.